How has your definition of romance changed? Like when you were a boy to a young man to now?
I've moved from grand gestures to little ones.
Okay.
When you're younger, you always think of the biggest gesture you can do. So when I proposed to Priyanka, for example, I surprised her. She had gone to Florence for shopping for her trousseau. And I landed up without telling her. And I was saying, oh, because we first met in Florence. I said, I'm so sorry, I'm not there, missing you. I made up a whole drama. She also said, try and come now. I said, I'll try and come, but shoot woot possible nahi hai. She's there. And brother helped me a lot. I landed up in Florence, set the whole stage, did this whole prep. She came back from shopping home. She saw a beautiful dress hanging there, jewelry that I'd got made for her, shoes that I'd bought for her, everything lying there. And I wrote a note. I still remember it said, meet me on the bridge across forever, which was the Santa Trinita Bridge of Florence where we first met. That was the first place we met. And I wrote that note and she saw that. She saw my handwriting and she was so confused that what the hell is going on? So she wore the outfit. She dressed up, she took this note, she walked down, and then there was suddenly a quartet, four musicians starting to play the strings.
Oh.
And she was like, oh my God. And she steps out of the hotel and there's a wagon, a horse-drawn carriage, the open-air carriage. So she sits in the carriage and her brother's still taking pictures and videos, and all those pictures and videos, she's just laughing her head off, saying, what a mad guy this fiance of mine is. She sits there, she sits in the carriage, she goes, she comes onto the bridge, because in our little courtship, because we met 4th of July, I knew the very day I met her that this is the girl I want to spend the rest of my life with.
How does a man know she's the one?
You just know. From a guy who was meeting her to fulfill an obligation to his mom so that she doesn't bother him and set him up, and was just totally ready to say no, I became the guy who said, I can't live the rest of my life without this girl. I have to be her. And it happened to me in one evening. One walk, one bridge, one conversation, one life. So coming back to that, she was constantly teasing me. I was saying, so we're getting married. She says, are we? So I said, what do you mean? Wedding card chab rahe hain, kya bol rahe ho? She said, you haven't proposed. You haven't got another on your knee. So she was giving me all that attitude. So this is what I did. And then she landed up on the bridge. This was weeks before our marriage, maybe a month before our marriage. She landed up on the bridge and I was standing there in a proper tuxedo with a ring, had written a poem that I recited to her. And there were little girls throwing flowers. So I did a full film, full drama, right, proper. And she walked, she was overwhelmed. And then we spent the whole evening in that carriage, just going around Florence. And it was the most memorable experience.